Welcome to Talking Crue, the unofficial Motley Crue podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things in the world of Motley Crue. This is episode 61 this week. Vince Neil, Tattoos and Tequila, Part 1, the book review. But first, this weekend Motley news, not a whole lot of it this week. In fact, Tommy Lee is in the news. He helped write and produce a song called Devil in Disguise by the band called Scars, that's Skars, Stories, who has ex-Methods of Mayhem guitar player Kia Marcus. He helped produce this, he helped write the music for it. Tommy Lee actually posted this on his Instagram page. If I can find the link to it, I will post it in the comment section down below, but definitely on the Talking Crue Facebook page. John 5 is in the news this week. He is actually in China as we speak on his Strung Out solo tour. He posted some stuff on social media. One of the shows were actually sold out. It looks like he's having a blast and the fans are having a blast. This is absolutely fantastic. I think he deserves this, everything he gets. Who doesn't love John 5? I think he's absolutely amazing. And that's it in Motley news. Like I said, not a whole lot of it this week. So this is episode 61, Vince Neil's Tattoos and Tequila, Part 1, the book review. There you go. And so on this week's episode, I'm jumping right back into what I'm calling the Vince Neil series. I started it way back on episode 54, Vince Neil's Exposed album review. Episode 55 was Vince Neil live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, 1993. Episode 56 was Vince Neil's second solo album, Carved in Stone. Episode 57 was Vince Neil's first and only live album, Live at the Whiskey One Night Only. Episode 58 was Vince Neil's Japanese bonus tracks. Episode 59 was the VH1 remaking of Vince Neil. So on this week's episode, I'm doing a two-part series on the Tattoos and Tequila. This is the part 1, the book, and next week will be part 2, the album review. So, let's go info and facts about this book. This is the first and only book Vince solo. Each band member except for Mick Mars has done a book. It was released on September 23rd, 2010. Vince had a co-writer, Mark Sager. It was published by Grand Central Publishing. It has 320 pages. You also hear from different people in this book, part of Vince's life. In fact, his mom's in this book, his sister, Rock Candy members, the band before Motley Crue. All his wives are in this. Former managers like Doc McGee and Doug Thaler. Current Motley Crue manager Alan Kovac. Nikki Sixx is in this book. Vince's son Neil and daughter Ella are in this book as well. So I always thought that was really cool because you kind of hear all their voices. In fact, there's somebody else in Motley Crue that did the same thing. So yeah, I think this is fantastic. I love this. So now let's talk about the book. The book is a great read. It's hard to put down once you get going. You get to see Vince's side of certain things, which is really cool. Even in chapter 1, which really grabs me, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know this. He talks about the Motley Crue Greatest Hits 2009 album, which he had no idea that it was even coming out. And I talk about that Greatest Hits album on episode 37 in case you missed it. But yeah, so there were some dealings going on. Vince had no idea what was taking place. He said he was the last one to know about stuff. He talks about his parents and early childhood, even going to school with Tommy Bass, aka Tommy Lee. He talks about his band Rock Candy that he was in before Motley Crue. and how, of course, he met Nikki and Mick to form Motley Crue. He talks about the car wreck that killed his friend Razzle from Hanover Rocks. He talks about in and out of rehabs, touring with Motley Crue, how he injured his hand during the Girls, Girls, Girls tour, which I actually have a picture of Vince. He had like his finger cast on, and it's even in the bootleg that was going around at the time, and you can find it on YouTube. Motley Crue live in Tacoma, Washington, 1987. He actually has that on, and he explains how he got it. It was all over for a jar of Grey Poupon. Imagine that. He talks about Nicky O'Ding. He talks about punching Easy from Guns N' Roses at the MTV Music Awards in 1989, and the thing with the Axl stuff that happened after that. He talks about, was he fired or did he quit Motley Crue? He talks about his solo career. He talks about his daughter Skylar, the 97 reunion. It goes all the way till 2008. It's a good book. I absolutely love this book. I think it is a definitely must read of this book. It is great pictures of him, if I can get to it. Little Vince there. I don't know if you can see him there. But yeah, there's some great stuff going on. Even shows him and the current author that helps him write the book. There's Mark right there, standing next to Vince. But yeah, I think this book is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't read it, do yourself a favor and check it out. I did see they are selling copies of this on Amazon.com. I'm pretty sure you can find it on eBay as well. So, that's the book review. Homework this week. Have you read this? And what are your thoughts on this book? Like I said, I love it. I think it's great, interesting detail. You get to hear Vince's side of things, especially with the Motley Crue stuff, his solo stuff. You get to go more of a deep dive into his early childhood. I think it's great. Like I said, tell me what you think. That's your homework questions for this week. So this is a short episode. Next week, I'm going to continue on with the Vince Neil series with episode 62, Vince Neil Tattoos and Tequila, Part 2, the album review. And I absolutely love this album. I mentioned I listen to the Live at the Whiskey more than I do his first two solo albums. Definitely more than Carved in Stone. But this one I even listen to a little bit more. I'll talk about that next week. If you know anybody that's a Motley Crue fan, likes to talk about Motley Crue, hear about Motley Crue, send them this way. Hit that share button, copy the link, and send it to them. Tell them go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, type in Talking Crue. All the episodes will pop up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button yourself. Give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it, and it helps out the podcast a whole lot. I want to thank all my new subscribers on the YouTube page, Facebook, and Spotify. Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining. Everybody who's gave me thumbs ups, I really appreciate that as well. Hope everybody had a great happy Halloween yesterday, if you watched this on Friday. So, yeah, that's it for this week. I'll see you guys next Friday, and you just took a ride on the wild side.